are we talking about today? Something mildly interesting, maybe. All right, what's up, everyone? It's Winslow. That's my name. Don't wear it out, but I hope some of you are saying it, because if none of you were, this would be kind of awkward. Talking to a camera. I don't know. But let's talk about a way to find your sound, or in a way we're like narrowing it in this idea. Basically finding good sounds, over time. This isn't like a one and done kind of thing. It's kind of as you produce, as you write, the more you write, you usually find sounds you like using, whether it be a kick, a snare, a bass, whatever. And then, collecting those as you go and forming your own kind of sound kit, your own drum kit, your own, pool of sounds to use from. And, the more often you use them, the more other people hear your tunes with them in there. They'll start associating those with you. And then, that becomes, oh, that's so-and-so sound because they use this thing and we hear it often in this tracker. Very roundabout way of putting it, but let me go in a bit more detail. Let's call it that. If you're new here, this is kind of how these things start, but trust me, I'm going somewhere with this. So often you hear on like forums, stuff like that every tune should be new. You should never reuse the same sounds, blah, blah, blah. It's dumb. Consider this.
Consider the phone.
If you're in an orchestra, you don't show up with a new instrument every rehearsal and every concert. You're in a band, you don't show up with a new guitar every rehearsal. You might have a different sound, alter it with, pedals, things like that to get a different tone. But your instrument's usually the same, right? Drummers don't play wholly new drum kits. They might not bring the whole kit, but they, once they find one they like, you stick with it, So why in the production world should we stray away from reusing the same sounds over and over, if that's how you want to put it? And I don't mean like classic breaks, like everyone's rinsed in Amen or Think. Obviously, drum and bass is built on classic breaks, Amen's, Sandy's, 66, whatever, that argument. I mean, other things, like you'll have comments, oh, this piano is the same one from that one, or this bass sound is the same. They're just copy pasting their track over. And, clearly there's room for, argument. But why? If a sound works and it works well, why not just use that sound? Classical pianists, at a big enough level, they cart their piano to every concert. A huge 80,000 and above Steinway piano in a truck with a whole team of people to every concert they play. Why can't I take a kick drum or a piano and just use that in every track, but differently? I guess what I'm kind of getting at is the argument that I usually come up on these with of, the producer versus the listener kind of thing. Well, it's not really a versus, it's just like two different points of view, because the producer will pick out similar sounds through each track. A listener might, but as long as a track sounds good, it's like, cool, makes you dance, makes you interested, might not really care. So why is there this, disconnect? Maybe there isn't, maybe this is just me talking out some frustration I have. I don't know. That's kind of how these are. But really back in, reusing sounds is a good way to focus and narrow your, wrote it down, sonic identity. Yes.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Because the more people hear these sounds that you use, it could be every track, sparingly, just a hint there, here and there. They get used to it and they can further recognize your sound. Like, there are artists that you can listen to like the first 16 bars and it's theirs. Even if no one told you, it's like, hey, listen to this. Who do you think it is? Boom, that's Lensman, or that's Caliber, and I think I've gotten to this point, that's Winslow. I've heard that a few times. I'm like, yeah, okay, what I'm doing is kind of working out. But enough about me. As usual, something worth focusing on, collecting sounds that you feel are good over a course of however many tracks, or just like your lifetime of writing music, and using those however you want. It's your kit, it's your gear rack, it's your wall of guitars, and you just pick the one you want to play for this tune. And when it works, it works. Like, something I did in recent time. So, and I'll put a little audio example because they're my tracks and I won't get flagged, but I will, but it won't be, you know, the drill. So take the intro loop to Spectre Detector and I'll play it real quick. Now, let's listen to Mumbles of Grace. Same sound. Or it should be. Different pitch, different tempo. Did you notice that when you listen to them, or have you even heard them? If you haven't, follow those links down there. Go check them out. But it's a good way to kind of tie your tunes together as well, sort of in a narrative kind of way. Because, you know, Spectre Detector was a few years ago, Mumbles of Grace was last year. The slightly different sounds, the same sound, just affected slightly differently and in two different contexts. And no one's yelled at me yet about using the same sound. So I guess, you know, anyway, I think one artist that does this really well, and he's probably going to hate me for saying this and probably, you know, whatever, but we're cool. It's Micus. You can listen to his tunes now and all the way from like the ones at the beginning of the Gold Fat when he started that, his tunes on Shogun all the way up to his Hospital album and releases it till now. You can hear a lot of the same drum samples because he has found really good ones that work for his sound and he just uses them when he wants. Like if you watch any of his tutorial videos on Patreon, patreon.com/MyKissU. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
That's a fucking disgrace.
I'm helping you out. Yeah, you'll see he has like a drum kit built in Cubase to where he just, you know, has the samples he likes using and, you know, track to track he figures out which ones he wants to go for. Adding it a bit extra here, some breaks there and there, but the kicks, the snares, claps, whatever you want to say, are in this pool that he's collected over the years he's been producing, and you can hear it really tie his tunes together. I feel like it takes away that like, okay, now I gotta find samples to use for this new track I want to write, and I can't write the track till I have the samples ready. So what do? Cuts down on my whole confusion, hopefully, and you can just, kick snare, let me throw these in here so I can get some other ideas down. If I want to switch them out later, cool. If I don't, then I got some good samples to start from.
Wrap it up.
Something to think about, not an end all be all, do what I say. I don't know anything much. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, try that out. Don't know where I was going with that, but hopefully you got an idea what I was saying. If I edited this correctly, it should make sense. And if not, on to the next one.